crashed yet. No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Okay, let's resume with our afternoon here in the Media Center. And Tony Stewart is joining us. Tony is currently 8th in points. And he, of course, drives the number 14 Old Spice Office Depot Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. And more importantly, when you look at this racetrack, Tony, you've won 5 times here. And earlier in the session this morning, a lot of the talk was about, well, is Tony a guy that you have to keep your eye on and so forth? So your thoughts about racing here at Watkins Glen?
Anytime you got a record like we've got here, it makes you definitely look forward to this event every year and coming here. Last year we started off kind of slow on the practice day and got going really good in the race. So hoping that's going to kind of work again. We're a little bit off pace today, but we're making gains on it and getting a direction on what the car's like. And so we got another long session coming up that should give us plenty of time, hopefully, to get the rest of the way there.
All right, we'll take questions for Tony. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll start right here. Raise your hand real high, Dave. We've got a mic holder. Then we'll go over here to Brian.
Yeah, Tony, Dave Robin with NASCAR.com. Atlanta Motor Speedway this week announced that it would only have one Cup weekend in 2011. I mean, for you personally, what does that mean? Or will you be sad to see Atlanta go to one race? And with the schedule changing pretty radically, I mean, what's your thought in general on that?
I'll be honest, I haven't really thought much about it. It's, things change over time. NASCAR knows where we need to be and what markets we need to be at, and I guess it's kind of like we've always said. I mean, we kind of just trust their judgment on where we're going and why we're going there. So, it really doesn't. There's tracks that I like better than others, and this and that. Atlanta's kind of one of them that has kind of fallen in the middle of the road. I mean, I've had good runs there, and I've had some miserable days there, but there's going to be changes. I mean, as time goes on, changes happen. There's tracks that you can look at places like Rockingham and North Wilkesboro that don't even run anymore, and so there's tracks that I didn't even get to run on that I got to watch races of when I was a kid. So the schedule is going to change. I can't say that I'm sitting here with emotions either way about it. I really don't think about it. I mean, we go to whatever races are on the schedule and go race. I mean, that's what we think about.
Go ahead.
Tony, Brian Nelson, Motor Racing Network. What about the safety improvements that they've done here at Watkins Glen with paving over some of the gravel areas and the safer areas and whatnot? Does that give you any added comfort going into this weekend?
It's nice knowing that they addressed the issue that we had last year here. I mean, obviously, we had a big wreck here last year that was, that's kind of been an area of the track where we're splitting one giant course into a short course, and I don't know if there's a real easy way to do that, but they've definitely, you got to give the track credit and the facility credit for making the adjustments and not sitting on their hands on it. I mean, they not only address that area, but they address a couple other areas on the racetrack too. So I definitely give them credit for making the changes for sure. But I don't think it's really going to change the racing a lot, and I don't think the drivers really think a lot about it. I mean, we've been racing here a long time, and we've been racing with the stuff that we've had up to this point. So it's nice when you go back to a facility and you know they've made it safer than it was the last time you were here.
Go ahead, Chris.
Chris Johnson from NASCAR Illustrated and SceneDaily.com. Tony, I talked with your spotter Bob Jeffrey last week about the transition that you guys went through when you first started working together. He's a guy that's only worked with 4 drivers in 20-some years. Can you just talk about his style a little bit and what makes him effective in your mind and how that transition was, how long it took to feel comfortable together?
It was real natural. I mean, I've worked with him before in some nationwide races and a couple ARCA races on the dirt. So, when we started working together on the Cup side, we'd already worked together before, and I was always comfortable with him. It's like relationships. I mean, you got to have somebody that you trust beyond a shadow of a doubt, and you got to know that when that guy tells you a direction, if you can't see what's going on in front of you, and he tells you that you need to go there to get out of a wreck, I mean, you have to trust that person 100%. So, we're both Indiana guys. He's got a good sense of humor, and that's important to me. I mean, there's times during the race when I need somebody just to make me laugh a little bit and break up my thought process. So he's definitely one of those guys that can do that, and I really enjoy working with him. I mean, I've, like I said, I've worked with him in the past and enjoyed it, and really like having him full time now.
Wait, Kenny.
Kenny Bruce with SceneDaily.com. Tony, when your car's not handling right when you initially go out there, is it more difficult for a team to catch up and improve the performance of the car at a road course than it is at one of the opens?
Not necessarily. It's still the same challenges, except you're trying to figure out how to do it two different directions. So, whatever you do to fix turning one direction, it's going to hurt the opposite direction. And a lot of times when you have a problem and it doesn't feel right, it's going to feel better one direction than the other. So it kind of leads you the way you need to go with it. So I wouldn't say that the challenges are more. I mean, you're still fighting cambers in the front, your rear springs in the back. It's just you got to, like I said, you just got to worry about it two different directions versus one.